Good evening, folks, and welcome to the ARCA Racing Podcast, driver interview portion. We have a brand new guest on tonight, Josh Fanopoulos from the ARCA West Series. How you doing, Josh?
Good, thanks. How about yourself?
I'm great. First off, I want to apologize for not having the interview last night, guys. The Midwest, as you guys might have seen on the news, got just destroyed by heavy storms last night, and my family and I had to kind of take shelter, and unfortunately, we had to postpone. But luckily, just simply reschedule it to the next day. So let's get into it with ARCA West driver Josh Fanopoulos here. How would you overall rate your 2021 season as a whole?
It was a learning curve, if you will. It was kind of I didn't plan on running ARCA West last year or this year. It just kind of got thrown on me, and so we took the challenge and tried to get better with each showing.
How come you didn't participate in 2020? Was it the pandemic, or was it kind of like funding, or what was wrong there?
So the team that I was running with didn't run it all that year, and so I just focused on my local racing that year.
Oh, was that the Sue McCartney team at the time?
Yeah, it was that kind of the Kart-Idaho, Stoney's Roadhouse, yeah.
And that kind of leads into my next question I wanted to ask. Is your team under Kart-Idaho Racing banner, or is it kind of like, are you kind of the main owner?
No, so I definitely don't own the car. This year I was running for Chris Loudon with Stoney's Rockin' Country and Stoney's Roadhouse.
Okay.
He purchased a car, and then he had some medical stuff and couldn't run it, so they kind of called me, asked if I wanted to fill in, and gladly, happily I did.
Yeah. So, also one of my favorite, I would just say my favorite car you guys did run this year was I called it the Hulk, the green car you guys run. I had a lot of questions based on that car. Do you by chance know what the history of that car is? Because I had a lot of people who were curious of what the history of what I call the Hulk is.
So from what I know of that car was acquired from back east. Oh man, I feel really bad. I can't remember his name. He ran for McAnally, and then him and his dad have a team back east. Oh man, I can't think of his name. So they, Gilliland, David. So that car was acquired from them a few years back. It was put on the track as a test in Charlotte, and then it kind of sat stagnant, if you will, over in a corner for a while. Then Chris acquired it, kind of started getting it wrapped, and we called it the Green Machine or the Snot Rocket. So that's kind of, it's funny, everyone had a name for that car, but that was an Ilmore car that we were kind of testing out to see how the Ilmore package would stack up against with the other, just built motors. And then we were hoping it'd perform well in Phoenix, and man, we just kind of missed it by a mile that night.
Yeah, was that car? It ran great at the bull ring, but was it totaled at Roseville?
No, it definitely sustained some damage in Roseville. Some that we wished parts were readily available or more available time wise. It's been hard to get stuff, and to get that thing back to 100%, it just wasn't there. It was, maybe 80% back, to what we wanted, but we gave it a valiant effort, if you will, and Dennis Wards and I tried to get it back to happy, and we just missed it a bit.
So you did run that car at Phoenix, or was that another car?
Yeah, that was the same. Yeah, okay. The white one is the same car in Phoenix.
What all happened at Phoenix? I was watching the race on TV, but it didn't appear that they actually showed what happened to your car.
Oh yeah, there was just two drivers kind of battling it out down low over there in one, and I kind of knew I seen the wreck coming for about a lap and a half, and I tried to stay clear. I went into that turn knowing it was going to happen, and I went high, and the car that got dumped went high also, and just kind of collected me and took me into the wall with her. and we tried to keep it going, but it started getting hot, so we had to retire from that one.
Yeah, it was one of my local buddies who was there. He got pictures. It looks like the nose of that thing was pretty well used up again.
Oh yeah.
So even after Phoenix, is she totaled or can she be rebuilt?
Nope. So it's on the frame rack now. It's all straight and going back to being happy again. Good. So it'll be back for next year.
Will it be the Snot Rocket again?
No, unfortunately, it's got to be white now. So we all kind of, the first time I saw the car, I was not a big fan of the color. And then after Roseville, it just kind of grew on everyone, and we're it's one of the only cars I've ever taken part of the wrap off and saved. We saved the whole door. It's on Dennis Schwartz's wall.
I wouldn't blame you there. Yeah, when I saw that car, I retweeted that and I named it the Hulk, but Snot Rocket the Hulk. Oh, what a legacy! Yeah,
that's awesome. It was going to be a margarita car. It was going to be a margarita sponsored car that is through the gas station type margarita drink thing, a beer of sorts, and it was going to have a bunch of different colors on top of the green, and some sponsorship stuff fell through there, and so it just stayed green.
Oh man, that would have been killer to see.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So overall, based on how many tracks you've been to, what would you say is your favorite racetrack you've ever raced on in your life?
Oh man, I'd have to say Dover.
And
I had the most fun there.
And how many times have you actually driven Dover?
Just one time.
What was that during your 2019 season?
It was, yep.
Why would you say it was Dover? Just because of like how intimidating it is flying into the corners or something like that?
I think it was the corner speeds. It would just, you always had to be in front of the car. I always had to be trying to think, 3, 4, 5 seconds ahead of what I was doing at the current, at that moment. And that was, I wasn't having to race the cars as much as I was having to race my own car. And I don't know. It was a challenge. It was intimidating. It was just fun all the way around.
Yeah, I definitely heard the same stories about that for Dover, of it being no matter if you're in a fast car or even a slower car, you got to be on the edge 24/7.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
When speaking of chassis, what's the oldest chassis that you can remember you racing?
That's a tough one. I think in 2017, I ran a car that I have recently seen pictures of that was running back I don't know the exact date of the car, but I know that it was somewhat, for say, older or well used in 2009. So I'm guessing it's probably a 5, a 4, 04, 05.
Yeah, knowing the Patriots team, I had a buddy who did work for that Patriots team. They said they had a lot of old cars, so I was quite curious because I did see you were able to race some of those.
Oh yeah, yep, yeah. They're still. It's funny is they're still around. I mean, there's a stack of them out there.
And that's why I love that Patriot team so much. So I wanted to point out a special race in particular back in 2019. Still arguably one of my all-time favorite K&N races in the last era of that series. It was the 2019 race at Meridian where all the big budget teams just seem to have so many issues. And I'm watching this race, and then I didn't know I'm looking at the back markers. I'm like, there's this Josh Jackson guy in Fanopoulos. They're running top 10. And by the end of this race, Josh Jackson and you get 4th and 6th. And what did that mean to you going up against the teams like McAnally and Brucati?
It was fun. I mean, we had, in my opinion, an 8th place car that night. That's kind of where we where we were riding along the whole time. There were some tempers flaring up in front with the bigger budget teams, and they decided to spend more of someone else's money and wreck each other, which opened the door for us. I found myself on the restart taking off in third, and kind of battling with Zach Telford and Souza. And I was kind of in that mix, and then we came for the white flag, and I just flat got dumped in turn 4, and somehow I was able to do it like everyone called it, the 360 and go. Yep. It's on the wall at Meridian, so I did this 360 and go, and was able to manage 6th out of it. And I kind of an ironic thing about Jackson is that it was a friend of mine. I kind of got him that ride for helping me out over back in a couple of the back east races. Mm-hmm. And the car that I was talking about earlier that was old and it was old in 06 is the car that Josh Jackson was driving.
Wow.
Yeah. So the first ever car I drove was that car that he was driving. They called it the Prom Queen.
Well, it got 4th place, so the Prom Queen did pretty good that night.
It did. And it did indeed.
Did you actually own that car in particular? Because it did list you as the car owner.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't own the car, and I'm not sure why or how that came to be. I think we were trying to acquire the 21 number is what was happening, and that car Jackson ran as 21 because that's my number that I run here local, and so we were trying to acquire it, and then I think we finally got it done this year. We were able to get the number and kind of hang on to it. So,
well, good. Actually leads into my next question is other than 36, looking at the pictures that I was trying to find for thumbnails of you, I saw a lot of 21s. Does that number hold any like special significance to you?
So it was kind of picked because it's my wife's birthday.
Oh, okay.
And she was not happy with racing taking over our family's life. Both my kids and I mean, we're at the track every weekend, and she was pretty against it. She fought us for the first. I've only been doing this circle track stuff for 4 years now, and I guess 5 years. But and so she's come full circle now. Now she, if I'm out of town at a race, she's at our local track on a Saturday, hanging out. So now it's the whole family.
Good, because I just like when I asked Bobby Hillis, I always like to get the significance of people who have run the same number for a long time. So and it's always fun because Bobby is because that's what he's ran his entire life. But man, your wife, that's a new one. I like that. I really like that. So as for Kart-Idaho, right now, do you know how many cars? Just curious, like the team has right now.
I mean. As far as cars owned, I mean, there's over 20.
Wow.
As far as cars used, I think I don't really know totally what the plans are for the Kart-Idaho team. I'm kind of running under the Stonies thing, which is together but yet different or separate. It's an interesting dynamic there. I don't fully understand just yet, and but I'm anticipating that there'll be about four active ones running
on yours.
4 numbers running.
So for 4 teams for them, and like so from what you were like saying with your side of the operation, how many cars do you guys just have the old Snot Rocket, or how many cars do you guys actually have on your side?
As far as I know, there's 4.
Oh, okay.
On that side, and then the Kart-Idaho is, I mean, there's well over 20 cars over there. So
wow, that'd be around like 6. Didn't think of or 20. So you said you've definitely raced around your local racing series. What's it like racing in a ARCA West sanctioned series? And do you actually have a good rapport with the other drivers? Like, what's it like racing in that type of series?
In the ARCA series or the local series?
Why not both?
Oh, the ARCA series, I'm still kind of I kind of stick to myself still. I'm friends with the Burgesses, and And so we'll talk, some of the underfunded teams and Bobby, and kind of talk to them. I don't really know any of the other drivers, and there's not much discussion or even waves for that matter. So I don't know if it's a tight knit group. I don't know. The problem for me is I'm the truck driver. I'm the mechanic. I'm the driver of the car. I'm the crew to push everything to the pit. So I don't have a whole lot of free time at an ARCA race. But then at the local races, we're with the whole family racing. It's kind of the same number. I mean, it's our local track, man. If you ever get a chance to come out and check it out, it's I've been to a lot of tracks now, and a lot of people that have been there, they all kind of repeat the same thing. It's Meridian Speedway is just it's just a different animal. I mean, it's just so friendly, and the people there are great. So it's a big family, and so that the local race is awesome. There's obviously some haters. Oh, this guy runs a higher series, and then he's out here playing with us, and but overall, I think of pretty much everyone at that local track as family, not fellow racers.
Yeah, if they're hating on you, they're just jealous.
Yeah, they're your biggest fans.
Well, good. That's an interesting insight into that local series. Are they going back to Meridian? I haven't looked at the West schedule in a while. Are they going back to Meridian next year, or was that not on the schedule?
No, it's not on this. It wasn't on the schedule yet. I'm not sure. I hope it comes back, because that sure is a fun race.
Oh yeah, definitely. Looking back, last couple of years, it definitely provided good finishes, and obviously with you and Josh, I mean, underdogs. If they just survive, they'll get a good run.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Keep your nose clean at that track. You get a top 10 almost every time.
So you haven't done a lot of races in ARCA, combined about 15. If you had to say for this though, who is your fiercest rival on track? Not that you haven't made any enemies, but who do you always strive to beat every week?
Well, I mean, I always try and beat. I mean, my personal goal is if I can finish or run close to a backpack DMR car, I'm happy as can be. But I mean, that's kind of a tough one. I know that a couple years ago, I always wanted to beat Brittany Zamora. That was kind of my marker. Was I wanted to, I was trying to outdo her. And then, Koga, I think I always try and, be able to compete or beat Koga
without wrecking each other.
Yeah, man,
that's a tough bet on its own. I hate saying that, because I love Takuma.
Yeah, he's awesome. I'm talking to him outside of the track, and on the track, I mean, I don't have anything, one way or the other to say, but I've had to spend many hours repairing stuff that really didn't need to be repaired.
Oh yeah. So going into our last couple of questions here, as of right now, do you know what your 2022 plans are right now? Part-time, full-time?
I don't know what they are as of right now. I got a meeting set up for after I'm getting ready to go racing Lake Havasu on the new year, and then on my way home from there, I'm going to stop in Vegas and have a meeting with the owner, and we're going to kind of discuss and figure out what we want to do or what he wants to do, and kind of move on from there.
Would that include just the ARCA West Series at all, or would you try to run some main races as well?
Man, I'll drive anything with wheels, so I'm open. I would hope for it to be a full season West, and even throw in some main or some East races. I'd love that, but at the end of the day, I can kind of got to do what someone footing the bill is wanting to do. Semi-limited at that, on that side.
So if you do have the opportunity to go full time next year, would you be? God, what am I trying to ask? Oh yeah, the road courses. Would you want to try those yet? Have you actually ever raced on a road course before?
No, I've never got to do a road course, and I think it'd be a lot of fun. I'm excited to try one for sure.
So if you do have the opportunity for 2022, which one would you rather race on, the Portland one or Sonoma and Wine Country?
I think I'd like to do the Sonoma one. I was born and raised in California, and back when it was Sears Point, I used to go out there and watch the drag races as a kid with my dad and stuff. And I just think it'd be kind of cool to get to go back to that area and race, you know.
Yeah. Well, on that note, Josh, we certainly I wish you the best in 2022. And obviously, at the end of 2022, I'd like to do this again, get a season in review, and hopefully look at your 2023 plans.
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
All right. So on behalf of everyone watching right now on YouTube, we thank you for coming on the show, Josh, and you have a good rest of your night.
Hey, thanks to you as well.
All right. Bye, buddy.
Bye.
All right, folks. That was Josh Fanopoulos, ARCA West driver for 2021. I wish him the best in 2022. I'm sure as you guys will. And hopefully we'll get to see the return of the Snot Rocket at some point. Unfortunately, it's not going to be green. That's a shame, but hey, at least we'll get to see the Snot Rocket as a white car. So we'll get to see it anyway in 2022. Best of luck to everyone. Best of luck to the Kart-Idaho team. I'm glad we did get confirmation that Josh is involved with the Kart-Idaho team, just on a little bit of a different level. I hope you guys enjoyed the interview. Our next guest will be Tony Cosentino of Andy Hillenberg's team next week on the show. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you later. So long, guys.